Hey, y'all. It is not going to be just me tonight, so y'all don't panic. Colby had to take the phone on a business call. Every Wednesday night, he has our business phone, so that's just something that we have to do. And he, as soon as he sat down, the phone rang, so he had to get up and take that. So y'all will have to deal with me by myself for just a little while. Hey, Mama, Simply Southern Roots. Haley, how are y'all tonight? It's a very nice afternoon here this afternoon. It was pretty warm today, but this afternoon the sun went down, and I was able to get in a rocking chair under our back porch breezeway under the shade, and the wind was blowing, and it actually felt really nice. The
Did
kids.
You say hey to everybody?
I did. Sydney, Homestead Engraving, Business and Life, Stacy, Miss Karen, how are y'all?
Simply Southern Roots, how are y'all?
So it actually felt really nice. The kids wanted to jump in the pool for a little while, so we let them do that, just to kind of cool off for the evening.
Sorry, just trying to make sure we got everybody. Hey, Karen, how are you? We have all these pop-ups. We don't really have internet, so when we turn our internet on, everything comes on the screen. So we're constantly pushing the buttons up here. So
yeah, it's like all the notifications come through at one time is what he means. So
Simply Southern Roots also not looking for heat. Headed back this weekend. Where are you actually at? Because we've had heat. We need to get rid of heat.
Yeah, it was pretty warm this morning, but this afternoon, like kind of when the sun went down, and I was in the shade, and it actually felt really nice. The wind was low. Jennings has learned how to shoot the water gun. Have you seen him do that?
Hey, Rich Refuge.
He can fill it up, and he's learned how to push the little bar down on the water gun, which makes it shoot. So he lit me up a few times. He cooled me off.
Well, in fact, it's only got up to 70 here today. Cindy, if it ever got down to 70 here, we would be so expensive.
Like at 10 o'clock at night, it's like 70, maybe even a little higher.
Oh gosh, yeah, it's probably 75 with humidity of 100. North Alabama, so you're not too far up. 2 days of 60s. Oh my gosh, that'd be so nice. See, that's what's so funny is we start our spring way earlier than everyone else on our gardens. However, we can't start our fall gardens till way later than everybody else because everything would bolt.
Coastal California.
Old. Oh wow,
that's nice.
I'd love to have lows in the 60s right now. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
You know, I didn't notice, but it seems like Oregon and all that area lately, we've had a lot hotter. I didn't recognize yet that was so hot over there in Oregon's area. I thought that was pretty neat to see. And actually, y'all's zone actually goes up pretty high too. Y'all are almost in the same zone we are. Some of those areas over there. So I thought that's kind of cool.
Oh, and speaking of, are you going to tell them what we did yesterday? Or are you going to wait and let that be a surprise?
We'll talk about it in a second. Hey, McLeod, how are you?
Very, very cool first time for us. So
Simply Southern Roots.
We're excited.
I like when the deer starts
found
getting
our
in.
2 gardens.
I like when they start finding my garden around November and late October. Now, no, I'm not too happy about it. You know, we don't really have, what's so funny is we're in a very deer populated area, but we never really have deer pressure.
Don't say that.
We really don't have deer pressure on our gardens.
Hey, well, we have a dog that chases almost everything.
Everything but humans.
Well, you know, actually, when one of the pigs got out, we were sitting out by the pool today, or I was out by the pool, the kids were swimming, and one of the female pigs ran up. Wow.
That'd be nice.
One of the pigs ran up to the fence. Hattie Mae immediately jumped up and started barking. So
she wants to buy the pig, too. So, Enriched Refuge, you're in north central Washington.
Way hotter than normal.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Yeah,
we
had some friends that said that. Was on talking with us last week.
Yeah.
Planted cowpeas and field corn in Boston.
That's crazy. That's so much more northern than we are. Mm-hmm. Hey, Fancy Farmer. I think Fancy Farmer's in the DC area.
Hey, look, it was really hard today. Colby got to come in with me, so like
I think she cheated. I think
I did not cheat.
She knows.
You can ask Chris. When I dropped off the envelope, it was still taped
Go with
up.
her vote because she knows. She acts like she does it. She knows.
I really don't. So Colby was able to go in I'm super excited about the video.
Hey,
he was able to go in the ultrasound room with me today. So we went in the back door, and he was able to stay for the whole scan, which was like 30 minutes or so. And we got to look at the baby, and
hey, Henry, sonnies.
It was moving around. It sucked on its fingers a whole lot. So we love to see that. At one point in time, it had its toe up on its nose. It was really cute.
What's going on, guys?
Flipping and flopping in there. It was precious to watch. That's one of my favorite things to do, is to be able to watch the baby move around. But anyway, he left and he had to go. The baby was healthy. It's measuring right on track. Everything looks great. So we were very, very thankful for that.
Hey, Susan.
So Colby left and went back to work. And what we're doing is the Kayla, she's the ultrasound tech at the OB office that I use. And she took an envelope and she took the picture. We looked away, but when she was scanning the bottom, like the bladder and the kidneys and all of that, we looked away, so we did not look. And no, I did not. You were standing right there, did not cheat. So she printed the little picture off that says either boy or girl on it, and she taped it up in an envelope. But I had to sit there for probably, another hour with the envelope. And then we took it. Then I took it to our local florist here in town, and I took him the piñata and the candy. And
hey, Walker Farm fam, what's going on, guys?
I took a pink bag of confetti and a blue bag of confetti, and then they will open the envelope and put the candy in the piñata and either add the pink confetti or add the blue confetti. And then Friday night. So now we have to wait until Friday night, which is we've invited our families and just a few really close friends of ours to come over.
Man. Thank you.
To come over and have tacos, and we're going to have like a Mexican themed birthday. And the kids are then going to bust the piñata, and then we'll either see pink or blue. So we'll all find out together, and it's going to be fun. So we are excited. That was hard to carry that envelope around and just not be like, okay, what is it? So practicing patience here.
Cindy Brown, I didn't know y'all were in 10A. That's pretty crazy. I bet y'all can grow a lot of stuff kind of like Florida around here. Let's see. How much honey did you pull homestead engraving business in life? Pulled honey.
What are y'all's guesses? Are y'all on the same page?
We're not on the same page.
I would love to see a little boy because Jennings is turning 2, so that's going to put them like 2.5 years apart. So I would love to see a little boy so that they could kind of be close, because Aiden's the oldest. He's 12. Then all my girls are like doorsteps, 8, 7, and 5. And then Jennings is 2. So I would love for him to have a kind of a playmate right there on his level 2. And I have a feeling it's going to be a girl. He says boy, and I'm like, it'll probably be a girl.
She cheated, so I'll probably go with her.
I did not ask Chris. The envelope was taped up.
Sure.
And he said,
I should have took the envelope.
He said, as soon as you leave, I'm opening this envelope. Oh, you're killing me now. We have to wait till Friday.
So. Susan Bass, what does she crave? She craves chocolate always. That's pregnant or non-pregnant, right? No, you tell them what true. It is.
I have loved orange juice. Like, I will orange juice in the mornings is probably the thing that I really, really crave. Other than that, sweet and salty, I haven't really had a specific preference.
She likes olives, but she likes that even without. It seems like she's like them more. So she's good for it.
I've only went through one whole jar.
One whole jar by yourself. That's pretty intense.
Well, I pray that he or she is healthy and happy. Thank you. In our scan today, everything looked well. They do a full body scan from the head, do all the measurements in the head, all the way to checking the little toes, all top to bottom. And it takes them about 30 – 35 minutes, something like that.
Hey, Douglas, how are you, ma'am?
And they check everything. And they did not pick up on any anatomy that looked abnormal. So everything looked great. So we were very, very thankful for that.
That's good, man, that you got a gallon and a half. That's great. It's a good start for your honey flow. 65 in Grand Haven, Michigan. That'd be so nice. That'd be so nice.
Oh, Oh, tell them what we got yesterday.
Okay, so Missy wants to blow the bubble.
Okay, well, you can.
No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. So,
Missy, do you know what it is? You look like you look. No, I do not. I do not know. I have the only times that I have ever found out was we went in with Aiden and found out regularly. Harley was surprised as far as we found out with family, with cupcakes, and somebody had stuffed the middle for us. Eliza Bell, we waited until delivery. That was hard. We waited until delivery to find out with her because we had a boy and a girl, so I had everything that I needed.
Hey, Three Musketeers.
With Sayla, we just found out regular. We went in and they did a scan. Jennings was a surprise.
The boiled egg thing.
That we did the boiled egg thing, and that was a lot of fun because it was Ellie Bell's birthday, and I found out like the same day that we were having her party. So the kid, and it was Easter themed. So the kids cracked eggs until they got the one that was raw. Like all of them were boiled except for one that was raw. So they had to crack until they found the one that was raw. And then Jennings will be his birthday party will be the pinata thing. And no, y'all, I'm telling you, I did not cheat. I wanted to, but I didn't. The envelope stayed sealed the whole time. And Chris Burt at Ship's Flowers can attest to that. And Colby was in there when we were doing the scan, and he knows I didn't look at the screen.
Sure.
I did not look at the screen.
Donna Caswell, bummed that the tomato plants are 4 foot tall, still not one tomato. We had a set of our tomatoes that were late too. They maybe get too much nitrogen to where they're growing heavy.
But they are getting blooms.
But they're not putting.
So just hold on.
Are they putting blooms on?
Yeah, it says.
That's their squash.
Oh, squash. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So if they're not putting on blooms, they may have too much nitrogen. Because that means they are growing beautiful green leaves and beautiful greenness with ammonia, but no fruit. So probably look at doing something like a potassium or a potash if you need to. Even some calcium might help there too.
Hey,
Maria Connor says, "Hopes is a boy."
Fancy Farmer nailed it. If you cheated, I don't think you'd be able to keep it a secret. I cannot keep secrets.
She's terrible at secrets.
I'm terrible.
That is true.
Like as soon as we found out, like I was ready to tell everybody.
She wants to tell everybody.
And Colby was like, you need to wait a little while, make sure that everything's going to be okay. Because I did have a few little hiccups there in the front that we were kind of concerned about. But after everything checked out, I was like, I'm ready to tell. And I've always been like that. Like, I don't think we waited till like 11 weeks, 10 weeks or 11 weeks, and we've never even waited that long. Usually we tell within like a week where I'm ready to tell. It's just exciting to me. But you are so right. I did not keep a secret very well. Hope it's a boy. No blooms on the tomatoes.
Yeah, so you just might need to check. It might just be nitrogen rich, which is a good problem to have for most fruit or most vegetables that's putting on fruit. However, it might just be too much. So just wait a little bit. If not, you may want to get something that helps that can grow. You got other minerals. You may want to check your soil too. That might help as well.
I'm horrible with secrets. I can do pretty good with presents, but when it's something exciting like I'm having a baby, like that, I always spill the beans early.
Elizabeth, you're right. You do need a lot of calcium when it comes to your tomatoes, and you can overwater. Overwatering is a major problem.
Overwatering usually causes disease, though.
It does. It can cause a lot. Which Blossoming rot is you're overwatering. You're getting rid of your calcium on accident and put too much. So let's see. The thing about tomatoes though, you got to be careful. Is they can get disease real quick, like Misty says. If you're trimming or cutting, we
experienced that this year for sure.
I don't know, one set of tomatoes, but like we just picked up probably 40 tomatoes just today. So you have to be just careful. They're very tedious to me. Tomatoes are tedious.
I feel like you have to baby them.
You do. To me, peas and other stuff, you can let go squash, zucchini, let grow. But your tomatoes, you have to baby. We're actually moving those to the kitchen cottage gardens first, the market garden next year. Just because the ones that did the best were the ones closest to the house. Simple as that. And we didn't do any, like some of them are like laid over. We've let them grow wild. Like they used to grow. Planted the seed. Yep. Let them go. We've tried to stake up. So we just had so many. I mean, we talk about hundreds of tomatoes. 300 to be exact. Hundreds. It was hundreds of tomatoes. And there was a point in time where they were growing faster than we could keep up. What's up, Chris?
So to be able to stake every single one of them when we needed to, it was just overwhelming. Like we could not do it all. So anyway,
Stacy, we have not started seeds for fall. Last year we did start them a little earlier in the late July or August. The only thing that we ran into was we had bolting issues or we had to replant. So this year we just decided to wait, and probably wait at least another, 15 to 20 more days. What's up, to family? How are y'all? There's one more question I want to hit on. Now, of course, you say seed for fall. We have planted our sweet potatoes and our pumpkins, which they will roll into fall. But as in planting like broccolis, lettuces, and all that, we will wait a little bit because it's a little too hot.
Somebody said, do you have any names picked out yet? Zero. That's a negative. We have no idea. I guess Friday night, once we find out what the baby is, whether it's a boy or a girl, then we'll kind of be able to narrow down to these are the boy names that we like or these are the girl names that we like. So, but as of right now, it's like it hurts my brain to even trying to think, going back and forth between boy and girl names. So we have not even just talked about it at all.
Put that video out quickly. Well, see, tomorrow, what we did yesterday, that video, we have one more video coming out tomorrow, but the video that's coming out probably for the weekend, or Friday, let me say it like that, is going to be what we did yesterday. So what we did, we got our call from our butcher, our local butcher, and Ike was ready.
This is super exciting.
So we were able to bring...
Who knows what Ike is? Who knows what Ike? Who knows Ike? Have you chosen the letter? We've not chosen the letter.
I'm OCD, so we got to be very careful on the letter choosing. Do you see her roll her eyes at me? Punishment. She's grounded.
Put that video up.
The cow, that's great. It's the steer that we took. So we were able to get our steer back. We are actually doing a video on what it cost us versus buying versus having the cow, because we have two steers, one we bought, one we had. So we'll talk about that a little bit more in our video. But we filled up our freezer. We have six freezers in this house.
Wait until you see the video. Like, we struggled.
Hey,
and y'all know that he was not little, like baby calf, newborn, little whatever. But he was not like
small yearling,
super big either. But we could not have handled, I don't think, another pound of meat.
We actually had to take out about a week's worth of meat and put it in our refrigerator to make room for everything.
I mean, it was really a blessing because we took him and it was exactly what we needed. We could not have handled any more. Like we were talking about, it would have been nice to have like hundreds and hundreds of pounds of meat, but we could not we
had hundreds of pounds, but not 400.
It was like 200 and something pounds of meat, but we could not have handled more than that. And so we were very thankful, very blessed. We started getting all the hamburger out and ground beef and the steak and the T-bones and the round steaks and the shoulders.
Shoulder and Alaska, what's going on?
Man, it was we were like, oh my gosh, God gave us this cow and we invested in him and raised him up, and now he is providing so much for us, and that was just really, really.
We're actually fully vegetable and meat sustainable. We actually do not have to buy anything like that if we didn't want to. Now, there's certain things that we want to buy, like out of season, like broccoli. We bought broccoli from a local market today because we just can't grow it right now because it's so hot. But when we talk about having enough food, we actually have 6 freezers. Can you believe that? 6 freezers full of food, which is vegetables and meat. So that's huge for us.
We had to buy another one today.
Yeah, because we were supposed to take our pig next week and have it butchered, but it's not.
We have no room. Like, there's no way. Our plan was Ike was supposed to be ready in like 2 more weeks, and when we picked him up, we were going to drop our pig off. But I'm really glad it kind of didn't work out that way, because we would have taken him and then we would have come home and realized, oh my gosh, we're not going to have any storage.
We have no room in our freezer.
Between all the vegetables that we put up this year, like the squash patties that I made, the bread that we already have put up, already the stuff that we had in the freezer from last year. I mean, we still had okra. We still have some okra in there from 2 years ago, and we eat a lot of okra.
We have 35 birds out in our yard that's got to be processed in 4 weeks, not counting the 50 birds that's still in our freezer. Plus, we have another 35 birds coming next month.
Yeah, but we're going to raise those up actually to
try to breed broilers.
Right. Right. I mean, we just think for us that seems sustainable. And we missed several questions. Why don't you scroll it back
All right,
down?
let's look here. It makes sense. All right, so a few things. We ran across.
We did have to ratchet strap a freezer closed one time.
Yes, we have. We did ratchet strap it closed. We actually still have the ratchet strap sitting on the freezer for just in case that oh crap moment. We got a ratchet strap.
Did you get to say hey to Sean in Alaska?
I did.
Okay, and Misty rolling eyes for my daughter means she has to clean the bathroom.
Two family, you're correct.
Totally get that. Ratchet strap the freezer froze. Yes, we did that, but we did that actually months ago, but it's still there.
What's up, Rehab Life?
It's a shame you couldn't breed him. His demeanor seemed so sweet.
He was.
He was very.
When we first bought him, we thought we were going to make him a bull, or leave him a bull, leave him fully intact because I got a good deal on him, and I thought, this guy's going to grow off nice. But he grew off slower than what we wanted. However,
but we didn't just dump.
He was so docile that you're right. And he was sweet.
He really was, and we were actually talking about that tonight when because one of the kids was like, "Is this Ike that we're eating?" Because we had steaks tonight. But it wasn't. We're trying to pull some of that. We pulled like Colby mentioned.
We are going to do that, Sean, in Alaska.
We pulled a lot of our older meats out of the freezer and put in the refrigerator to use this week. So because we were making room. So that's one of the things that we used tonight. But when we were talking about we started talking about Ike come up when we were eating, and we were talking about how even sometimes when he would get out of the temporary fence, Aiden was like, "I like to taste what I chased," and we thought that was so cute. And then I was like, "Well, Aiden, honestly, we really didn't have to chase him."
I'm gonna name that video that I think. Taste what I chased.
We really didn't have to chase him. I mean, Sizzle was a total nightmare to our homestead, and that's why he was gone after just a very short period of time. But even when he would get out, there was one time he got out from the temporary fence just walking around, and I opened up the gate and walked behind him, and he just walked right back in like it was no big deal at all. So, yes, his demeanor was perfect. We're going to definitely miss that about him.
Yeah, one good thing about eating now, I told Misty, we're cheap.
Another 1 or 2.
We try to eat very healthy, but at the same time we're very we watch what we eat too because we're very I don't know the word.
Frugal?
We're frugal. So we don't buy a lot of T-bones and ribeyes. So also we get T-bones and ribeyes from our cow. Man, we're like steak every night. Every night.
Actually, I made the comment when we put it in there. I was like, we're going to have to eat
Rehab Life. Thank you, man.
Like every Friday night, we're going to dedicate that to like steak night.
Yeah, our kids are very in touch. It's what's so funny is that they're such a big part of our farm. So, but here's the cool thing, and I talk about this in some of the videos, and I always talk about
eating. We really do. It's just so much.
It's about
eating some of the food out of the freezer.
But here's what's so cool. We talk about sustainability. We have males on our farm, which is a big plus. We have every kind of male that you can think of. But here's the benefit: as we butcher Ike, we have Christoph right behind him. As we butcher our chickens, we had our chicks coming right behind them. As we butcher our pigs, we have 3 sows that's going to be having piglets within the month.
But we have Pepper and George's 2 babies.
That's right.
We're going to be growing up.
Plus 2 more American guinea hogs that's growing on a separate set of
So, we do a lot of progressional. We talk about that.
Very progressional.
Somebody said, oh, wait, where did it go?
Cindy Brown, I don't do that because I don't even know what it's called.
Where did you get the freezer? Elizabeth
I don't even know what that means.
Where did you get a freezer? We ordered
we looked
one.
Up. Yeah, I was going to say what we did first.
We didn't buy. We bought it, but it's not here. So we ordered.
We had 4 freezers. 1, 2.
But it come from
3,
Sears.
4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. We had 4 freezers, and then we picked up a 5th one. A 5th one, which was a refrigerator freezer. Just they actually had one in stock. I mean, within 2 weeks, I could have it. Then I went in Walmart one day to buy Missy's cans. We needed more cannon lids. And it's like epiphany. It's like, oh, I turned around and there's this 7 cubic freezer just randomly sitting in Walmart. Son, I pulled that thing off. There was people trying to take my freezer, but I made it out of there.
3 people approached him and was like, "Is that your freezer? Are you taking that freezer?" And Colby was like,
I bought it just like that.
Yeah, it's in my buggy.
And so today, when I went to buy the other freezer, It's about 40 days off, but that's good for us. We're gonna postpone the pig before maybe 4 or 5 weeks to make sure.
Which I'm a little bummed about because I think
breakfast
pork is probably my favorite thing. Hold on, we have some more questions. Quit, boy. I want to do meat birds, but my daughter would start crying and never forgive me.
We had one daughter that did that.
Yeah. She's very.
I'm just letting you know. You better get a little speed.
She's very. Yeah. But the rest of our kids, we've really tried to train to know that we raise our meat. We raise our food for meat.
No, we keep them fully in-house.
Freezer. Read what you say.
Cindy Brown, we keep them fully intact. They do stack. We do more of a zigzag with them in the freezer. So I'm sorry, I didn't understand what you were saying.
The Max Wholesale Grocers.
That's about right. We're gonna have to sell a lot of these chickens coming up.
Colby, you have to learn to can meat, brother.
I know I need to, but here's the bad thing. Now you can't even find a canner.
Well, the canner that we want an All-American because we feel like that's the best investment for our family. And yeah, I was gonna actually get him one for Father's Day back in June. Yeah, boy. I was actually gonna get him for one for Father's Day back in June, but they were sold out. Sold out.
He did go on he went on
great video name. Chase what you taste. Or yeah, not what we said. What he said.
Taste what you chase. Chase what you taste.
Wholesale grocers count me in, and bakery.
The bakery, we actually are bakers.
I have I racked up on making bread before school started because it's very time consuming for me to do all the dough making, rising, checking it, baking it, Susan, and all of that. So,
since April, where are you located, or what vicinity are you located? What store did you shop from?
Rehab said they had ribeyes for dinner.
I will say this: it seemed like Home Depot, Lowe's, and places like that are struggling to get their freezers. Our Sears have been right on it. So our Sears is a smaller Sears, it's a locally owned Sears. It seems like when they tell you they can have it, it might take 30 or 40 days, but it seems like they're getting theirs in a little bit quicker than what Home Depot and Lowe's and places like that are in town.
All right, I don't know what this means.
I know, I've already handled that. Okay. That was like 20 minutes ago. 20 minutes ago.
I just want to make sure that we're getting everybody's comments as we can. Homestead Engravable said, engraving. We have an engravables in our town, so I always solder that when I say y'all's name. Have a big barbecue party. Can't wait to get the country. Hey, look, that God gave us this life, and we have absolutely loved it. The country life. Did you tell Rehab Life happy birthday?
I did. Rehab Life, tell Misty how far back she is. Our Best Buy has
talking about crossing out the deer.
She is off her game tonight. She's a little behind. She's a little excited.
Hey, so I just wanted to make sure that we were not missing somebody's
comments. Are you almost caught up yet? Are you almost caught up?
Don't get smacked. I am caught up now. Sean in Alaska said, I have the big All-American. It's a great canner. That's definitely what we're shooting for sure.
You know, here it's amazing. They're actually not even taking freezers off the truck. So, like, if they're getting them in, they're leaving them on the pallet jacks, on the pallets in the store because they know they're leaving that quick if they're not already ordered. So that's pretty crazy.
Okay, I'm caught up reading on the phone. So
now she can look.
I can look. I just wanted to make sure we weren't missing like anybody's questions or anything like that because we always try to make sure that we address everybody.
That's right. Try to be nice. So that's what's so cool. So here's where we're at right now. So we talked about having 6 freezers and one on the way. We have 2 generators that can run anything we need to run. We're actually looking at putting in another natural gas generator and then a solar generator to our house, just so we have more options for redundancy. Like we talked before, homesteading and redundancy comes along with prepping. So we're working towards that as well. Mandy Summerall, how are you? Welcome.
We actually come home. What night was that? One night last week, we come home.
Power's off.
Power's off, which I was totally bummed about, first and foremost, because I have 4 incubators going with a hatch for someone that lives an hour away, and she's been waiting on her chicks. So I'm like, we don't know how long it had been off. We had been gone like the whole afternoon. I don't even remember where we were.
The barn.
So we'd been gone the whole afternoon. We come home and the power was off. So we were like super bummed about that. But hey, I have when I see these, y'all, I buy them and I love them. The little glass oil lamps.
We have tons of them.
Is there? It's not kerosene, is it? What kind of oil is it?
The old ones are kerosene. The new ones are lamp oil. There's some lamp.
Okay, well, I have like 4 just in my living room, and I love them because every time we lose power, I just pop that glass off and light it and lower it and put them around the house, and it does make it really nice. I mean, I love the little low light look in here, but it was nice. But then we didn't have any hot water, and it was time for the kids to get baths. So I really felt like we were back in the old days because I got some rags and put a little bit of soap on them and made all the kids sponge bathe. And we used just enough water to dip their toothbrushes in and get their teeth brushed. And, of course, the power was back on. They literally lay down and all fell asleep. And then the lights come back on. So.
Rehab Life, for our small portable ones, I say small, our portable generators, we use gas. We keep a lot of gas on petroleum gas on standby here.
But the reason why we didn't pull those out is because they're actually in different locations.
Well, they're not different locations. One's in the garage, one's in the shop, but it's
plug,
not worth it.
To plug 4 little incubators up into that, I was just like.
So we keep a good bit of gas plus those generators on standby that can run probably for a good week and a half because we are in a hurricane area. And so that will run us for about 7 to 10 days. But we're looking at doing a generator for the house, which will run off of natural gas, and we can get a direct feed of natural gas if we do that option. But if we do that option, we're also going to do hand in hand with the lithium-ion batteries for solar panels as well.
Yeah. All of those things are in the plan. They're not extremely...
Well, they're not cheap, so that's what we're doing. We're being smart with those things. So if not, we're going to have one big barbecue, and everybody's invited.
So we are, Shauna and Lassa said the panels are not that expensive, but the batteries are. And
I need to really learn solar better. I don't know enough about it.
Enter the giveaway, Justin Rose.
Yeah, we're part of this abundant permaculture, so we saw that come all across with the company generator.
Well, you did. I don't keep up with all that, so I'm usually running around. We started school Monday too.
You're correct, Rehab Life.
And that was that's kind of been a whirlwind for me. I really enjoyed like getting up in the morning and doing pasta salt, canning pasta sauce, and going out and watering and kind of doing what I need to do, like making butter and yogurt and blah blah blah, like what I usually run around and do. But now I've been having to kind of get up early in the morning to get breakfast done, get everything cleaned up,
too, Chris.
Get the kids in the schoolroom and school done, get everything checked, work put up, and then we pick up, and then I'm like, oh my goodness, like it's like 1 o'clock, and now I have to do all these things. And this afternoon, though, Colby come home, I heard him come in the door. He was like, where's your mama? I was like laid out on the couch. I was so tired this afternoon, which I was not asleep, but I was just resting. I was just completely exhausted, but
Fancy
school's
Farmer,
been a whirlwind.
We start early because usually we don't take off. We push hard until Christmas and take a lot more off at Christmas, which the baby's coming this year, so that's another big thing.
Because we usually try to take at least 3 or 4 weeks off during the Christmas season.
We try to do half our school lessons for Christmas.
We do. After. So, we don't try. We do.
So really, we work even through Thanksgiving a lot of times, the week of Thanksgiving.
Right. And of course, we'll just take off Thanksgiving Day.
But also garden work for us, remember, we're in the deep south, so our garden work is actually slowing down a good bit right now. We're picking, but we're not having to do nearly the work that we were doing a month and a half, 2 months ago.
If you have a barbecue, count me in.
Southern Mississippi, that's just something we do like almost every day. We barbecue tonight. So.
I'll come babysit Seagull Bass.
Hat Creek Homestead, welcome. We use a Becker right now, but we're not going to get on that soapbox right now. But we will be changing probably to a Bob Jones Academy next year.
Yeah, I think we're going to do a combination of teacher instructed DVD next year through Bob Jones in particular subjects. We're also going to be doing some unit studies as a family probably through.
Hey Kim, how are you?
Probably through My Father's World, but I know there's several out there that have unit studies. So I'm just going to kind of go through and see if there's something specifically that we want to study and order the unit study through what program that we use, but it will be Christian based for sure.
You'll ever get a cut like right there in your hand? Look at this. This killed me. This is just affected the whole day.
Move your hand constantly, so it's constantly.
This is called My Bull Makes Me Mad, and I throw a stick and the stick cut me.
He has been on a tear for the past few weeks.
He's not been, let's go back. He's not been on a tear like mean evil. He's been just wanting to be a forever young stallion, I guess. I think he thinks he's a black stallion.
Well,
he's a college kid. That's what he is.
Well, the first look, I don't know how many of y'all were on here when we talked about this several weeks ago, but I was out cutting okra one afternoon, and I was out there by myself. The kids were.
I agree, Cindy.
The kids were going to cousin camp, and I walk out and I hear him just moo, 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 and he is not a mooer. Like I don't think I have ever heard him.
He can't even moo really well. His bellow is terrible.
It is.
It's terrible.
But I walk out and I'm like, what is wrong? Like I thought he was hurt or something. I was like, what is wrong with him? So I get down there to the garden, and that's where he's at in that field that's right behind our garden. And I realized that Josie, which is our heifer calf, is right beside him. And I'm like, she's in heat. And he is up and down that line, pacing back and forth.
He's made it like a mud trail.
Like a serious no grass, mud, bottomless pit. And he is just back and forth up and down that. So anyway, by the time I get done, well, I'm not done. I'm like midway through cutting okra.
Douglas, thank you so much. We will save you some. We ate pulled pork the other day, too, and it was the bomb. We smoked it, barbecued it. So
it is past us bedtime. We'll get in bed, and good night. And as always, thank you for jumping on with us.
Yeah, we love to absolutely. Thank you, Douglas.
So anyway, I'm midway through cutting okra, and Josie comes up to him at the fence, and there's 5-strand barbed wires between them. And he tries to go through the fence. Like he gets his whole upper body through the fence. And the first time he did it, I was like, oh my gosh. So I grabbed my phone and I called Colby. And then while I'm on the phone with Colby, he does it again. And I was like, we've got to move him. We've got either him or her. We've got to get them away from each other.
They are separated far now.
He is going to tear the fence down. And he almost did, but we got them separated, and he didn't hurt the fence. But if we would have left him there, he would have took that fence out eventually.
So he is.
Quit shaming that poor animal.
He doesn't know how to bellow. He doesn't know how to bellow. It's just like it's more like. It's just. It's no impression. It doesn't impress anybody.
The weakest move.
And then Ferdinand sounds like an elk. He acts like he's calling elk. I'm scared. I mean, like. It's unbelievable.
To record his bellow.
I am. His bellow is literally like an elk call.
You will not hear a peep out of him unless you get him by a cow that's in heat that he can't get to. Then he will not shut up. We learned that quickly.
Hey, little feet, how are you?
So
get started on homesteading. What's going on?
So that was an interesting afternoon, but
Okay, Elizabeth Ninehus, there's not a lot of hype on okra, but we're from the South, so everybody just fries it here. And some people do pickled okra. I don't like pickled okra.
Add it in gumbo.
Yeah, we do a lot of gumbo
soup and stuff like that.
But other than that, we don't do a lot with it. Some people stew okra. That just tastes like a big snot rag. I don't understand that at all.
Boiled okra. We don't like boiled okra, but a lot of people will just put it in the pot and just boil it, but it comes out like slimy and gooey and.
We're gumbo and fried okra. Our kids love,
and I love it in vegetable soup, too. Yeah. So just a big pot of vegetable soup. I'll throw some fried okra in there in a minute.
But understand, with okra, remember, you could grow, just a piece of okra, and you're going to get tons of okra.
Okra is very easy.
It allows you to feel like you're successful in gardening with your okra. Because, it's just like cucumbers that grow like crazy.
Yeah, we are still cutting okra. You probably
We'll
should
cut okra till
okra.
October or November.
You probably should have cut this afternoon while you were outside. It's getting to where I can't, in the middle of the day, I almost can't go outside.
Homestead
it's too hot.
and Grave and Business Life. You have never had okra? I can tell you're not from the South.
Karen was talking about earlier. Actually, I saw a notification come across. She said, I'm new to okra, y'all.
What? Y'all need to come to the South.
Okra is like a staple.
Wait, what is that? What is that thing that we ate up there? We talked about this before in Michigan.
Somebody help us, Michigan folks.
It's that fries with like heavy gravy on it and all that. You know, it's real healthy.
It had a very weird name that we were not familiar with. Sean Alaska said he had okra, California, from California.
Yeah, man. Poutine.
That's it.
Poutine, whatever it is. So
that's it.
We didn't even know how to pronounce it. They laughed at us when we actually said we wanted that.
Yeah, we had never heard of that before, and Colby was like, "What is this?" And she told him.
I was like, "I want some of that."
It was good. We actually had it. It was right down the road from my gardener's store because we went up to Poutine.
That just sounds funky.
We went up to the Hootenanny at the Pratt, and we took a day. We set off aside a day to go up to what was the name of the town that he's in? I can't remember. It's like right at the Canadian line.
Yeah, we're at the Canadian border.
So anyway, that allowed us to go to the border.
Port Huron.
That's right. And there was a big river that was there, Lake Huron. Duh.
Yeah.
And so we got to see. We got to see that, and we got to just kind of tour that little area. It was really,
Claire,
really
how are
pretty.
You?
That's right, y'all. It just totally slipped my mind. But the area was absolutely beautiful. And then we got to go down to his store and walk through his store a little bit. We bought, some seeds, a few bags of seeds from in there. And then we went down to this little cafe that was down the road, and I really liked that cafe.
We see really Food Forest Permaculture's here. He's a Canadian, so he can really get crazy about it for sure.
That's right. Cheese curds on hot fries with gravy.
And see, Southern okra is just Southern for sure, because it's like everybody, you can't grow a garden without tomatoes and okra in the South.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just, okra is like a common staple here. But everybody fries it too.
We can fry green tomatoes right now.
Like a typical Mississippian, we fry everything. So if it's a vegetable and it was healthy, we just make it bad for you.
We try not to fry a whole lot.
We don't. I was just joking.
Is like
that's really the only thing we fry. Other than that, we try to.
I come up with the squash fritters.
Yeah, those are pretty awesome.
Those are really good.
They're not healthy at all.
They're not healthy. And Colby stays on me about recording, and I recorded a whole squash fritter. Showed y'all how to make it.
I need
the
to get that
recipe and everything.
Camera,
and it's still sitting on the camera. So
I'm telling you, I got to get that today.
And I did that like 3 weeks ago.
I agree, Kim. I'm a meat eater as well, so I could do that too.
Chicago doesn't do that.
See you, Chris. We don't fry a lot anymore. I guess when we were younger, we did. We do fry our okra and like the squash patties, but most stuff now.
Oregon's home says I can't fry things that makes it. Colby's very sensitive to, like, if he eats, like, for the first time in forever, we went with a family member to.
Oh my gosh.
To a fish house.
We don't do that.
We don't do that.
We don't do that at all.
We were invited and we wanted to go. It was kind of to give us a little outing, and we hadn't actually went out to dine out as a family like.
Get started on homesteading. Thank you, man.
No.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know.
When did we go to the mountains? May?
June.
We didn't go in June. Whenever we went to the mountains, and so we hadn't actually like dined out like in a restaurant.
Make a leg says she made your zucchini bread.
Oh yay! The topping is the bomb. So anyway, so we went and we had this was our appetizers: fried pickles and fried okra. Now we did not get fried fish. We got gumbo and a salad, and then the kids got fried chicken strips.
Oh my
so
gosh.
We totally blew it there. But even just eating the little bit of fried foods that we ate, we were like, oh.
We don't eat that kind of stuff. So
goodness. And we don't cook in vegetable oil and peanut oil and that kind of stuff.
We left, and I was thinking, we paid money for that?
Colby said, I feel so sick about 100 times.
Yeah.
On the way home. I'm in the South, and I'm not a fan of okra. My grandma would fry it with onions and potatoes. That sounds good.
Yeah.
And hers is the only okra I'd eat. Unfortunately, she's no longer here. And I don't know how she did it. That is the thing that I hate to hear. I hate to hear that there was a generation loss of knowledge where whether it's something as simple as a recipe or a skill, I hate to hear that though. I hate to hear that there's a loss without knowledge being passed down.
Bacon leg, that zucchini bread is the best. Rehab life, I'm going to say that Colby probably eats pretty much whatever is available. Is that a fat joke, Rehab life? I'm not picky, I will say that.
We do call him the garbage disposal, a pretty good bit.
Thanks.
So today at lunch, I did some turkey grout, and we had 1.5 left because Harley said she wanted 2, but she only ate 1. And she was like, call Daddy, he eats all the leftovers.
Yeah, so she was like, Daddy, come home and eat with us. And really, it's just like, come eat my food because I don't want to eat it. Kim Winkler, we don't have White Castles around here. I know they're kind of like crystals, but anything that says fast food burger makes me want to vomit in my mouth. So we're not going to worry about that.
My mom oven roasted okra, and that's my favorite way to have it. Now that's interesting. I don't know. I'm not sure that we've ever had oven roasted okra. Oven roasted okra.
Yeah, we've never had that.
But that sounds. You're gonna make me look that up. I'm gonna look that up.
What?
Oven roast. As long as it gets crunchy, I think that's what I like about the okra is that it's crunchy because cutting it in itself. It has a sliminess to it naturally anyway, a little bit. So if it was the least little bit mushy or slimy, I probably wouldn't eat it.
See, we do add it to gumbo, but ours is just raw.
Roast. Yeah, it's so cooked out and tender and takes on the flavor of the soup and the gumbo that whatever we're making that you can't really taste it anyway.
Yeah, I just got to where now I don't even really order a lot or either buy.
Kids say the darndest thing.
I don't really do. Like if we're eating at the house, I usually don't even pile my plate high because I know I'm going to end up having to eat everybody's. But now since we got pigs, it allows us to say we're not wasting food. It's going to the pigs. If we're not
actually have a 5-gallon pig bucket on my counter sitting right in front of us.
You've seen this in videos. It's not the prettiest thing, but it's very.
Well, I can't put it on the floor, which is where I would love to put it.
JJ would eat it.
Because he plays in it. And he's like our little kid pig. And then I don't really have any cabinet space to put it in. So I leave it on top of the counter. Mama, thank you so much. We've told y'all we wish y'all wouldn't do that. But so the scrap bucket sits on top of the counter and it's not real pretty, but we put all of our scraps in there. And I hope he gets feeling better. Did I tell you this afternoon that she came to the house? She wasn't, went home a few days later. She wasn't feeling the best in the world.
We don't really eat out a lot. That's kind of if we're going to blow it, we're going to grab a pizza and let the kids eat pizza and watch a movie. That's kind of our cheap food.
Fast food burgers.
We haven't eaten fast food burgers in I don't know how long. Like a Food Inc. That's a movie or a documentary.
Yeah, once you start watching some of those things, like what was the name of that series that you watched?
I can't remember. I can never remember what it's called. I can't remember.
Oh, I just looked it up. Rotten. That's right.
Yeah, Rotten. That's
and then when
series.
you start like watching some of that stuff, it makes you think, I don't ever want to eat that again.
Our favorite place to eat out, I don't know really.
The air fryer. Well, we don't have an air fryer.
No, we've talked about it, but just.
I would have to do a lot of research to find out.
We don't have a microwave. I mean, we haven't had a microwave in years. So anything
I would have to do a lot of research.
Easy, we really don't.
To see the dynamics behind it of what it's doing to my food. Because honestly, I don't really know enough about it at all. We've never had one. I've never used one. I know they're oilless, which is pretty cool. But I'm like, what is it doing to my food? So I would have to really look that up because we don't stop looking for the hogs.
I don't know. Kim Winkler, it's funny because I always say one day I'm just going to blow it and just eat a big Whopper. But then I feel terrible after I ate it. I don't know what else.
Mine is probably hibachi.
Yours?
I used to get steak all the time, but I really like the chicken. But the rice and the broccoli, like the vegetable mix, is just my favorite. I can make myself sick on that rice.
Oh well, I'd probably say Chinese. I'd probably say not Chinese, hibachi too. I mean, I guess, but I say I don't eat a lot of hibachi. Even when we go there, because it's just so heavy. I get sushi. So, and that's something again, most of it's healthy.
All right, somebody commented on the air fryers. Air fryers take up so much space, and are really hot. Our really hot oven, they do nearly the same thing. We don't really know enough about them. What do you use for a pig bucket?
We use a food grade 5-gallon bucket that we bought. You can buy food grade buckets from Walmart. We ordered these with our honey, but you can buy them at Walmart for $2.96 and buy the lid for $2.96.
Toaster ovens rock. We haven't had a microwave in years. That is exactly what we
hadn't either.
Now you have to be patient. Like there's a lot of times, baby, you have to let me sit back. There's a lot of times that I would love to melt butter in like 30 seconds.
Big leg.
30 seconds versus 5 minutes in the oven. But that was a sacrifice that we were willing to take for this lifestyle, to not use microwaves in the house. So. All right.
Sean, Alaska, I can fill you a microwave toaster, but the electric coffee pot. Let's don't get too crazy. Let's don't get too crazy there. I love sushi too. Me and Sayla eat sushi. Everybody else doesn't like it. So.
Is there's not any like? Do you make the coffee not an electric coffee pot just because it tastes better?
Well, it's probably he's off grid.
Oh.
So.
We're not crazy about the microwave.
We don't use a microwave.
The microwaves, because of the types of radiation, they're not only going in your food, but they're also being put out in your house. And the more radiation that we can eliminate, we just feel like the better. But especially in your food, I mean, that's kind of scary.
I'm not really a coffee snob, so I don't know a lot of the things. Like I know people do French press, and I've drank nitro and French press coffee. But to be honest with you, I don't know how. I mean, I bought this nice coffee pot one time that offered the French press and the regular ground and the whole.
It didn't last very long.
I didn't know what I was doing on it, so I just do like normal. But I know a lot of people do the French press. It's a little strong for me, but I have drank it too.
Put that down.
Miss Vicky, we do like Mexican food. We used to eat it a lot because it was a cheap, easy food. We went there. Me and the girls had daddy date nights, not too long, or daddy date lunches, and we went to Mexican. That's been a few months back. We hadn't had it in a while.
I really like the cheese dip.
Yeah, cheese dip's probably the only thing we actually like there.
I wouldn't say that it's very.
We like our salsa better than theirs now. All right, let's see. 4 years ago, 5-gallon buckets were $2 with a lid. But yes, they do. They got very popular. So now the food grade buckets they're $5 a piece here at Walmart in Brookhaven. I agree on the French press too. I've enjoyed drinking. I just don't know what I'm doing when to make it. Like I like cool coffees, but I don't know enough about them to make them. Yeah, Sean, last week you'll have to show me that. I like my coffees. I like to drink more of a lighter roast, but very strong. I don't like dark roast too much or French roast unless we're doing like espresso. But I like a lighter roast, but very, very strong.
I don't like coffee, so I'm not going to be in this conversation. I've tried to drink it. I've diluted it with milk and 1,000,000 pounds of sugar, and I don't really like to eat excessive sugar unless it's chocolate.
I'd say I don't put any sugar in coffee or anything like that. Claire Campbell, what's so funny is I can drink coffee. I mean, I could literally drink coffee and literally go. I could have a cup of coffee laying beside me or sitting beside me on the table, and I could pass out right now.
She said that explains so much. I don't know if you're talking about me or him, but
no, she's probably talking about the coffee being caffeinated.
I would have loved. Colby used to fuss a lot about. I wish you'd get up and drink a cup of coffee with me, and I would rather get up and drink a cup of orange juice, and I'm just as good. Well, I say I'm just as good. It takes me a while to wake up.
I wake up just like that. It's not a big issue with coffee. To be honest with you, I don't even drink coffee first thing in the morning. I usually drink it 4 or 5 hours after.
I'm with you. Never developed a taste for coffee. Love the smell, just not the taste. Same way. It's bitter, and I have a sweet tooth. I would prefer sweet and salty and not bitter. And I cannot do that bitter.
I enjoy it.
More sugar and OJ. I know. You're so right.
We can't grow oranges here, and we buy, of course, non-GMO organic orange juice, so that junk is expensive.
Yeah, it's full of sugar too. She's right.
Like 1 teaspoon. That's all you get.
And that's the only thing I get up in the mornings that with this pregnancy. Now with Jennings, I craved milk. I wanted cold milk all the time. But with this pregnancy, I want orange juice. Like I could drink a half a gallon of orange juice every morning. I don't, but I could.
I love all you Northerners to talk about your tea, or your Westerners talk about your tea, because tea in the South is completely different.
I love some tea though.
I don't know anybody around here that's not from this area that drinks hot tea. Like
hey,
I mean,
we go to our Bible study, it's called Women of Titus 2 Tea.
Yeah, but
we drink hot
some
tea.
of them, I know, but some of them are not from the South. Some of them are up from the North.
Yeah.
So
tea. Melissa is, I won't say she was raised her whole life in Michigan, but her parents now live in Michigan.
Yeah, so like that's funny to me.
Drink coffee all day and
Albany Mountain Homestead, that would probably make you a coffee snob. I'm the same way though. If we go somewhere, like if we go up to our barn where the beef cows are, or we go to the mountains or wherever we go, I'm the same way. I'll take the kind of coffee I like to drink and take our milk because that's what I like.
Colby's a milk snob.
I'm a milk snob. I don't like random
when
milk.
you work that hard for milk,
Donna Caswell,
you won't drink any other milk.
I do that salt. People think I'm crazy when I say I put a little salt on my coffee grounds. It does take the bitterness away. Awesome point. Very good point. I do that too. Do you put lemon in yours? I guess you're talking about the teas. We do drink. I've drank green teas before, and I'm okay with it. But to be honest with you, we use more our green teas and black teas now simply for our kombuchas.
Yes, that is designated specifically for kombucha. Yeah. Black tea and green tea.
But I used to drink green tea every once in a while.
I have kind of limited myself a little bit on the kombucha. Like I took a batch out the other day, and I was like, if you were riding around and you got pulled over and somebody smelled this, Kathy. They would not think it was. We were laughing about it. We were like, they would not think that this was kombucha.
Francesca Middleton, thank you for coming on.
It had a very alcoholic smell to it. But so I have being pregnant, I have really tried to limit myself on the kombucha and what I drink. But it's so gut healthy. I do drink some for the probiotics and the benefits of kombucha.
See you, Howie. Rehab Life Black and Orange Pico, we use that in our kombucha. Really more the black and green, but we have used Orange Pico as well. We actually have a tea farm in our area, like a high-end tea farm. Like, price of Lipton tea, price of regular organic tea, way up here. Like, really high-end tea. And to be honest with you, it's so expensive, and we don't drink it. There's a lot of people, they ship it everywhere across the world. It's crazy expensive
way on up tea. There per
like you buy it almost like you buy caviar. You buy it per ounce in little tins, but it's very high end tea. And actually, it's something so unique around here. Everybody was wondering, what are we doing around here growing tea? But that's what he does, and he does it. He's got a great business. We don't drink a lot of it, but
lemon. There are sometimes that our tea.
It's the Great Mississippi.
I don't specifically drink it.
Gosh, what's it called? The Great Southern Mississippi Tea Company, I think is what it's called, Fancy Farmer.
Yeah.
Yeah, Claire, you got it. It is very high in regards. He has what's so cool about it, he brought samples to us one time at a meeting, and you could smell it, and it reminds you of coffee. It's got a very distinctive smell on every kind of roast that he's doing, but it's really neat. He sends it all over the world, so it's really cool. I forgot Claire was more local, so she would know. But yeah, it's called the Great Mississippi Tea Farm. But they've expanded. It's huge, actually. It's about 7 or 8 miles from us.
Okay, what is kombucha? I've never heard except for with y'all talking about it. So kombucha is a fermented tea.
Yeah.
I make it like I would make regular tea. Just boil my water. I drop black tea and green tea down in there and let it steep for the afternoon.
Dang.
And then add sugar and I have what's called a SCOBY in my brewing vessel, and I have a big brewing vessel. And a SCOBY is like a, baby, scoot over here, making me lean sideways. There you go. I don't care if you sit with me, but I can't lean over sideways. So in my brewing vessel, I have a SCOBY. That's a symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast. And I basically grew that from culture, kind of like yogurt would ferment and grow the milk into a big blob of yogurt. So this kind of does the same thing. You feed the SCOBY, which is your culture. You can either make your own or they sell them on Amazon or whatever. I made my own from original kombucha that we found at Whole Foods that had cultures in it. So I just made sweet tea, poured the kombucha over in my brewing vessel, and left it. It was like 4 weeks. And then I had a little jelly.
Hey, are we gone? Can y'all see us? Can y'all see us?
We're still showing on screen, but not on
the phone. I've lost connection. I just didn't know if somebody could shoot me a text saying, "Can y'all see us?"
You're here.
Good. Okay.
So,
all right.
Good. So in that brewing vessel, I just poured my tea over in there and poured my culture over there and left it for 3 or 4 weeks. And then I had like this jelly like SCOBY. So then I would pull off of that.
How are you?
I would pull off of that, and we would drink that juice basically, and then we would refeed it sugar tea again. And every time you do that, the SCOBY eats the sugar. Oops, now you're gone. Well, it's our time to jump off.
That's because YouTube saying, "All right, you've been enough, you crazy people, get off here."
So anyway, it eats the sugar, and then so it ferments as it sits there as well. So then you have what's called kombucha.
So here's a Donna, and for some of the ones who's not used to kombucha, you can go to Walmart, any of your supermarkets, in Kavita, GT Dave's. Those are very common breweries for fermented tea or kombucha. The one that we kind of sunk our teeth in, if you will go to, let's see, Kavita sells a pineapple that's really good. Yeah, ginger and pineapple, it's really good, and pineapple peach is good too. So a good thing to look into if you want to try it out. Don't
very
compare it
probiotic.
To tea. Compare it more to punch. I'd say, that
very probiotic, gut healthy. And I saw Heather jump on here for just a minute. So hey,
I think
Heather,
we lost them.
I don't know. Somebody said they had refresh and you'll get them back. But it's time for us to go. But I do hope that y'all, the ones that are still on here, if you're interested in brewing kombucha, I have videos on that. It's really easy to do and it's really good for you. So I hope that y'all will do that. But it's time for us to go, y'all.
We keep bouncing off and on. My phone's doing the same thing. So thank y'all again for coming on. I know if some of y'all jump back on again, try the kombucha. It's a good thing for you. And like I said, it's something that you can learn. And I have videos that are step by step. It's really, really easy to do, y'all. Thank you so much, guys. God bless you. Happy homesteading. Happy homesteading.